Welcome to Go Live Vegas. This show is called Full Tilt Vegas. I have a friend of mine, Gypsy G. She's here.
In the house.
In the house, baby.
In the studio.
In the studio. Gypsy, why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Oh, no way. That's top secret. No. And actually, most of you watching probably know. I met Richard here at Go Live Studio. He was a guest on a show I was doing called Time to Vegas. Speaking of lovely Las Vegas, I have been here a little over 30 years of my life. A little more than half of my life I have been. No, wait, I just aged myself. Yeah. No, that's right. A little more than half of my life I've been in Vegas. I was a blackjack, craps dealer. I dealt all the what's called the carnival games, Let It Ride, Caribbean Stud. I did a little bit of roulette, but I didn't like pushing all those chips, so I asked them not to put me on the roulette table because it kind of made me nervous that they were going to go kerchunk, right? Yeah. So I've been in Vegas for a minute. I wrote a book on Vegas. It was called the Vegas Souvenir Book. It's going to have a different name when it comes back, so a lot of Vegas information. I love Vegas.
Yep.
Viva.
Yep, 24/7. I love this town.
Yep.
We're let's talk a little bit about roulette, and we're gonna go into probably blackjack and craps. But what I want to say, I had it on my the last show, episode 1. But what I want to say about roulette, and I want to be more specific because I got some callers calling me about they didn't understand what I meant when. If you look at a layout, you'll see there's 1 through 18. That's half the table. And the other half is 19 through 36. That's the other half. That percentage is the same, 47.37. But you got to remember something. It's half, this half, and this half. If you bet even, odd, red or black, all the numbers are intertwined and mixed. So it doesn't matter what side the ball on the table that the number falls on, you're hoping because you're playing red, they're scattered. Black, they're scattered.
So you're saying that's better to play what's in the mix? Because I watched that video of yours.
Yeah, well, the reason why I say I don't like playing 1 through 18, 19, because if the dealer's hitting one side a lot, sometimes the dealer does that. He'll hit one side a lot. If you look up at that tote board, I talked about the tote board on my first episode. When they put that up, a lot of people start playing that game because they kept like, oh, look at 8 red. The next one's black. That has nothing to do with it. So I like playing red. That's my favorite color. My favorite number is number 3. So I play red, and I hedge bet between the red and any of the. It doesn't matter what numbers you play inside because you're just hoping it's one of the 18 red, and then they're all mixed. So but that percentage on the even, odd, red or black is 47.37 for that. Now, if you think about it, if you take red, black, even, and odd, if you take that and then you take the 2 zeros, now I think it's 52.63% that you have a chance of winning, and the casino's only got 47.37. So in my book, I show you the ratios, so you'll understand the ratios. That's very, very important. Now, those percentages, they're the same. You got the ratios and the percentages. The numbers will be almost the same. So you'll know that you're getting that much or that less. And it's in my book. It's in the book Winning Ways. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. You can get it Google. I suggest you get it on the phone because you'll have it anywhere you go. You go to any casino, you'll have it there. Gypsy, when you were dealing roulette for the time you deal it,
yep.
Did you ever walk in a casino and play it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while because I got addicted to Keno, as everybody knows. But yes, I loved playing it. Matter of fact, going way back years ago, they had the Golden Spike downtown.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they used to have 10-cent roulette, and I thought that was the coolest thing on the planet because back in that day, it was like, I don't know, maybe $12 to fill up my gas tank, and my monthly electric bill was like $28 or $30. So I would go in there with a $20 bill and get those 10-cent chips, and I would do exactly what you said not to. I would stack them on my favorite numbers, and I won because I laughed, right? I would assign the money as soon as I'd be like, oh, that's a tank of gas, and that's my power bill. Now I'm out. And I loved it, right?
A lot of people can't do it. What I tell you in my book is when to walk away. But a lot of people don't do it.
That's the hard part in any game.
Yeah, any game.
That's the hard part,
yeah,
right?
Horse racing, any sports betting, it's hard to walk away. Those people have been playing for that many years. They're disciplined. I met a lot of people who play sports betting, and they keep it to themselves. And they're disciplined. They don't bet crazy bets. They bet only the bets that they can win, and that's what I show you in the book. Only the bets you have the best chance, the best ratios and percentages to win, and that's what you want. You want to win. You don't want to go to a casino and I'm gonna come out of here with 10 grand. No, you can't think like that. You'll go out of there 10,000 in debt is what's going to happen.
Well, I can vouch for that, but not with not the 10,000 in debt. What you said before that, a lot of people don't know. I had a cousin. He was my dad's age, so I didn't really know him. He was the number one biggest bettor I believe that this town has ever had. You would have tripped out if you met him. He was extremely disciplined. He was extremely superstitious, and he only played the odds. He would put up $250,000 or $500,000 to win $150,000. Right? He got his butt kicked though when Tyson bit the ear. Right? He always played with the ratios in his favor.
Yeah,
he won millions, right?
Yeah, I was there.
He was the guy.
I was here in Vegas. I remember I was at work at the time. I was here 40 years in construction, and I dealt 1 year here for the MGM Corporation. But I've been dealing in California for 16 years. But I remember when I was working that day, and I told the guy, I says, you know what? I'm going to go bet Vandy Holyfield is going to beat Tyson. And I remember, I think it was 18 to 1. And the town, they say the town never recovered. So I don't know what happened. But I never made the bet because I forgot until I got...
From the bite? The ear bite?
No.
The town never recovered, or the money?
The money.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they recovered by now.
That happened...
More than once.
Yeah, that happened in the Hilton, too. There was this guy brought... I can't remember who was fighting, but they brought in this the fight, and the guy... was a promoter and brought the boxers there. Well, hardly nobody showed up. But so the guy got the phone call, and he thought he was going to be cussed out and stuff, but he wanted to thank him because some big bettor, I'm not going to say what country because you can't say that anymore, he dropped $19 million at the crap table. So the guy thanked him for bringing him that fight that hardly nobody came.
Wow. I was going to guess Australia, but you said craps, not poker. So my guess is probably wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. The guy that won. God, I just saw his story for the second time. I can't remember what his name was, but he won craps and poker, and then he went broke. He was another guy, $40 million, I think. He rang it up to.
He went broke.
He went
That's
broke.
That's just wrong.
Oh,
wow.
People, I don't know. That story was, I almost cried.
So speaking of millions, I have some of those really cool collector chips that have Holyfield on one side and Tyson on the other from Fight Night, because I was a dealer. I collected chips. I have thousands in chips from the Hard Rock, but those are from the MGM. So if any of you got $1 million and you want to buy some, let me know.
Believe me, it happened because I was at Boulder Station one time. I was getting comped. I was sitting next to this lady. She says she's getting 8 comps, and I said, "You can't do that. What do you mean 8 comps?" She said, "Yeah, I have 8 people coming in. They're all going to have dinner on me." And I told her, "You can't do that. Usually, a casino only does usually comps unless you're winning a ton of money. You only comp you 2 or 4." She goes, "Yeah, I won 50 grand. Go around the corner, you see my picture there. She won 50,000 on slots." So that's why the 8 people were coming. But I was sitting there talking to her about my Keno, that I hit Keno last night. And we were watching the Keno while we were having our comp breakfast. It came up, my numbers came up 3 times within 5 minutes. And they had it's called a bullseye round. The last number, 21, it hit the bullseye. That means it pays double. So I mean, that's a house offer. A lot of them don't do that unless you start playing Keno that the casino divides, where you can actually pay a little more for it. Don't do that. That's like progressive. You don't want to once you start getting anything progressive, it's harder to hit, and that's why you see all these giant jackpots and oh, that guy over there won 100,000. Yeah, how long has he been playing for? Like 50 years? He probably got his interest back. And then they don't tell you about the other 200,000 people that lost, and all they did was give him their money. So don't get into this guy's winning that guy. Oh, that guy won that. Don't play your game. Be smart. Play your game. Play your game smart. I use Keno just to mess around with, but it's fun because if I hit my 3 numbers, I beat them. So now remember, that's one time. $10 means I hit it 10 times for $1, $420. What if I hit it twice? That's $840. But I mean, I'm just hoping to hit it once. If I hit it once, I won $420, and now I made $320 profit. Because you got to look at how much money you're actually going to go gamble anyway. I mean, you don't have to do $100. You can do it for $5 a game. You can do it for $3 a game, but you'll hit it three times instead of one time. But you can do what I did here. I played $20. I got 20 games. All I got to hit it one time, 3 numbers. I'm probably going to hit it. More likely out of these, I'm probably going to hit it because I've been hitting it for $20. But so far, I only hit twice. I mean, hit it within that. Now, I mean, if I would have played this back then, I would have hit it 3 times and hit the bullseye. Okay, the other thing about Keno, once you start playing, that's regular Keno. So what you want to do when you play Keno, just play regular Keno. Once you start playing Caveman Keno, what's the other one? There's another Keno. I see them on the machines. Once you start doing that, it's called a progressive Keno. They're harder to hit. I played around with the Caveman Keno is because I won playing regular Keno. So I switched to Caveman Keno, and it's funny because I hit it that night. I played it. I hit it twice, the bonus. But yeah, it paid me 5 times. I go, wow, how come I'm getting so much money? Because I hit the bonus. But anytime you start playing anything progressive, it's harder to hit. So you got to remember that. So what I would do, what I tell people when they gamble, we all want to make a lot of. We all want to hit the big one. We all want to win. Oh, look, I won 14 grand. We all want to do that. But you know what? Is it going to happen? How much money are you going to spend and actually one of these years hit that? Would you get your interest back or half your money back? What I tell people when they play any of these games, blackjack, craps, roulette, horse racing, which next week you'll see that one, Keno, what you want to do is you want to play the game and try to see if you can beat the game by playing either using ratios or by playing it smart. Like in Keno, don't play 10 numbers, 8 numbers, 5. Yeah, there's probably people out, oh, yeah, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I hit 5 numbers like twice last year. Yeah, but in between that or in the other years, would you win? I mean, you play the way you want, but try this. Pick 3 numbers, any 3 numbers, but you got to keep them. Don't start changing them and add then. Oh, you know what? Let me add 1. Don't do that. Just play 3 numbers. Just try it, and see if you hit it. You'll notice more often you're going to hit 3 than you are 4 or 5. You'll notice that. If you ever, I'm going to cover this because I don't want you guys to see this yet. I've got a surprise for you. Would you ever, if you ever betting races and you're playing the toke machine, a lot of people play the toke machine. They walk away, leave their voucher in there, or there's a mistake, or you leave your voucher in there. Somebody comes and takes it, and they're looking around and they put it with their voucher. Okay, let me tell you something. And when you lose one, if you lose a ticket, whatever you're playing, if you get a voucher and you say you got $100 on it, you only use $10. and you lose that $10, that race you lost, keep that voucher, keep it in your pocket, okay? And then you still have $90 on that ticket, okay? That ticket, and the ticket you lost, it has a tracking number. They have tracking numbers. They'll know that the $10 ticket you lost, they know that ticket came from the rest of your voucher. So if somebody has a ticket, you left your ticket in the machine, because a lot of people do it, a lot, and they take it, and then they add it to their ticket, and then you go to the tote, the tote manager, and tell them, hey, I left my ticket in the machine. I need to stop it. So they'll get your ticket. They'll ask you, got any tickets? You got any tickets from that thing? And you'll say yes. They'll get that ticket, a losing ticket or a ticket with your voucher, because the tracking number is still tracked to that ticket. They'll take that and they'll stop whoever has that ticket. And when that person tries to cash it in or add it to their ticket, and they say, no, this is my money, they'll say, no, you found that in that machine and you added it to yours. Guess what? You can't lie. Those tracking numbers don't lie. So they'll make that guy pay the guy, say it was $90. They'll make him give that guy $90, or they'll cancel his ticket. So all his tickets, say he has Exactus Pick 3 still going for the rest of the day, none of those tickets are going to be no good because he has to pay that guy $90. So remember, when you have a voucher, either you have your voucher with more money, or keep any of your tickets, even if they're Pick 3s or Pick 4s, and you still have them in your wallet or whatever. All those tracking numbers, they're all tracked from the original ticket. So that's how they know it's your ticket. Yeah, the tracking numbers are right here, Aaron. These are the tracking numbers on top of the ticket. So any of your tickets that you keep, then they know that that's yours. And they can what they also ask you, it's right here. That's a tracking number. So they'll know that that's your ticket if somebody's got your ticket. I've seen people with $300-400 vouchers, and they got the money back. The other thing, they're going to ask you, what machine were you on? Let's go to me, because that machine sometimes has that guy's tickets too that are in there. They're in that machine. Because when you get a ticket and say you cash it, say you want to make a bet and you cash it, you actually redeeming your money. So you put it in there. That ticket that you had is still in the machine. It didn't go nowhere. It's in the machine. So it has like almost a copy. So that's the other thing about tracking numbers. So you want to do that. Okay. Right now, I'm going to show you some of the stuff or some of the races that I bet, because I just want to show you that when I talk about all this stuff. Oh, the other thing is, I should have done this in the beginning because I keep forgetting. All these opinions are mine. They're my personal opinion. Everything I talk about on the races, that's my opinion. So it's not like I'm reading it from a book, or I might have some stuff wrong. I maybe. I don't know, but this is my 34 years experience. So what I'm telling you is my opinion. So if you can take it for whatever. Okay, I'm going to show you. You know what, Aaron? We're going to show you a race that I won, and I thought there was only 2 races. It was the 8th race at when they had the Belmont. It was the 8th race. Mike Smith was only riding 1 horse, and I looked at this horse, and like I told you in my other episodes, it's from Great Britain and France, and the 6 was the favorite, 6-5. And I go, I don't know why they're betting this horse. I says, these horses are better horses to come out of bear, and they're bred for grass. So I said, screw it, I'm going to bet this horse. So we're going to play the tape. My horse is number 8. Watch where he is. He's going to go to the rail. Okay, I'm gonna see if I could see. The 9 goes to the front. Okay, so the 9 when I went to the front, and I'm right now I'm looking where the 6 is at. And I'm saying, well, I want to know where the 6 is. Everybody's betting 6-5, and I think the 9, I think it was 7-1, or might have been left at 8-1. My horse went from 6-1, and then he went back to 7-1. And he's the 8 horse, Mike Smith. I can't get up from here. I think he's like 6 back right now. I think he's on the rail, but you can see where the 9. Now look at the fractions. You can see, I can see better here. I'm still seeing blurry. 20, what are they, 20, I can't see, 24, I can't see. But look where the 9 is. Now look where the 8 is. See on the bottom where the 9's in the front, and I knew this. I knew that. I really honestly thought the 8 would be closer, but look where the 8 is. And the 1, I actually thought the 1 was the 8 because the TV was small. Now I'm looking right here. They're coming around the last turn. This is where they're going to switch leads. And look at Mike Smith. He's on the 8 horse. He practically crawls up. There he is, right there. He practically look at him. He doesn't. Oh, let me go here. Oh, let me go through these 2 horses. And he's accelerating. And then he's going to go through the rail. Look at all the room he has through the rail. And I can't remember the jockey on the 9. He didn't know he was coming. And there I go. There's my 8 horse, and I didn't play this exacta. I wanted to play this exacta, but I didn't play because of the 6. I played the trifecta, and the 6 is still running somewhere. But I'm going to show you. Could you show them the 200? I bet 200 to win on them. Are they seeing that? I bet 200 to win on the 8 horse. That's my ticket right there. It's 200 to win. And do you have the win? The win. Now, wait a minute. That might not be it. No, that's not it. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it. Those are the other tickets. I did win with those tickets. As a matter of fact, I think that pick 3 was at Belmont. I won 1,200 and something. Yeah, I won that with that pick 3. I think I had it 10 times or 20 times. And then you know what? It's not here. You know, you got to go to, remember I showed you let's see, can you see it up there? No, that's 200 to win. You can see it's the 8th race, and Altamata, or I can't pronounce it. But on top, you can't see. You got to go further up. Can't go further up, huh? Further up on the ticket, because it shows you how much it paid. It was I won $1,680. You see it circled up there? That's what it paid. It says $1,680. That's what that ticket paid. So, and there's my profit. Beautiful day. I won a couple other races that day, but I was so excited about this race because I thought this horse would win, and I was really lucky. I saw the odds start going down, and I said, "Oh man, it's 8-1 morning line." And it went down to 7, then it went down to 6. I go, oh man, there's people betting it. Now you got to remember something. These horses, the 9 and 8, the 8 came from Great Britain, and the 9 came from Ireland. Now you got to remember, I told you the bloodlines. Those it can go back 100, 200 years. Those horses are bred for the grass. So I wish I would have bet this exacta. I bet the try instead because everybody was betting the 6. I looked at the 6 looked good. But I says, I think the 8's just going to win the race. It's going to be between the 8 and 9. I just, you know what? Mike Smith is on this, a Hall of Famer. He had the only mount that day. So I go, now why is he doing that? He waits all day just to ride this horse? I'm going to bet him. And you know what? The thing is, I guess a lot of people out there are pretty good handicappers because they bet that exacta. And I was really shocked. That exacta should have paid about $80. It paid $41. That means a lot of people bet those 2 horses on that exacta. The one thing that paid a lot, because the 3 came in 3rd and it was 9-2, it paid $327, I think. That was a real good try for $1. And my horse was a 6. I probably would have got back, just say 200, but I would have had it 20 times. So I would have won 2,000. But can't win them all.
I was in California. I was in Huntington Beach, California. And I was going to go to school at UCLA, but I'd been studying gambling math and counting cards and all that for years and years. I came originally from Detroit. And I was studying and ready to go. And I turned 21, and I said, I don't need to go to college. I'm just going to come straight to Vegas, which wasn't so cool with my dad because my dad was a university professor at the time. But I was looking around preparing for my move from Huntington Beach to Vegas. I couldn't find any information. You know, there was just nothing. There were no newsletters. There were no magazines. There was nothing. So it was in the back of my mind. I always said at some point I might try to do this and ended up doing it.
Yeah. What is it, 84 or 87?
Started in '84. Yeah, I
84.
came out here in '79, and I did the first issue of the LVA, as we call it, Las Vegas Advisor, in 1984, and I did that for about a year and a half, and then I kind of put it in mothballs for a while. Not quite mothballs. I kept it going a little bit with like a 1 or 2 page sort of information sheet, but at that time I was playing professionally with some of the big card counting teams out here, so I did that until we got too well known and I was not able to play anymore, or not allowed, and I went back to doing it full time, and that's what I've been doing now for 30 years.
Yeah, I remember when I came here, I says, man, we're because when I first came here, I think it was in '95, and I didn't come here with very much money. I had an old beat up '73 truck, and I think I had like $300 in my pocket. And I knew the people from the Stardust because I used to go there all the time, and they used to comp me. So a friend of mine gave me a motor room on comp. He said, "Richard, you gonna gamble?" I go, "Yeah." "You gonna gamble tonight?" I go, "Yeah." "I'll give you a motor room for 2 days." So I got a motor room, and then
those places in the back, right?
Right, in the back. Yeah, yeah. Actually, they filmed some movies.
Yeah, we all went there in the beginning. We were all there. Believe me.
Yeah, they filmed. What was that? I can't remember that. Vegas. There was a movie they filmed back there, and there was some pretty good stars back there. But I end up saying, "Man, how am I gonna find where to eat cheap and all this?" I said, "Oh, wait a minute, remember that guy? What was that guy's name? He had that advisor or something."
Yeah.
And I said, "Let me look at that." But there's a lot of information: the rooms, the food, what's going on in town, what's coming up, what casinos are opening.
Well, it seemed to when I did it, it seemed to resonate. Everybody thought I was crazy when I started it. They're like, "Who cares?" I go, "I don't know. A lot of people come out here and they want to hear, they want to learn things." So we were very careful. By we, I mean myself and whoever I was working with at the time. We were just very careful to make sure that we covered a lot of different things, and we tried to be very non-biased, and we tried not to do the things that everybody advertised. We tried to find things ourselves, and we did, because we were living here, and we were living off the land. We literally were living off the land because playing coupons all around to survive, that sort of thing. And we found the deals, and when we found the deals, we wrote about the deals, and it rang a bell with people, and they've been buying it for years.
Oh, to me, I tell everybody, we go to parties. I just still do parties in California, but I tell everybody, they go, "Hey, we're going to be going to Vegas. Where do we stay? Where do we eat cheap?" They're always asking me that. I say, go on the internet and go look at Anthony Curtis, go Las Vegas Advisor. Look at that, and I'll tell you everything you need to know: rooms, food, wherever. Trust me, just go to. I plug you all the time.
See, I like guys like you. That's why I'm on your show.
Yeah. Now we might get back to that, but I know a lot of people out there because we advertise this show and we're going to boost it. They're gonna want to ask me to ask you this, so I gotta ask.
Mm-hmm.
How, when you first started card counting, how did it go? Was it rough? Was it a smooth transition, or was it a learning experience?
It wasn't anything but smooth, and I would say it was pretty rough. I mean, the way it started is I got a single book about it, and
Beat the Dealer?
Nope. The first book I got was a book by a guy named Charles Einstein. I think it was called Win at Blackjack or something, but the guy's name was Einstein. Not the Einstein, but that was his name. And it was a pretty good count. It was a decent count. There were some problems I later found out, but I read that book, and I then started reading everything. And Einstein's book was pretty good, but I found out there were better books like Stanford Wong. That was one of the big names. So I read Wong's books, then Ken Houston, then Peter Griffin. Then, I slowly began to find out who I was supposed to be reading about. And I'm doing all this stuff before I turned 21. So I'm going to school.
Right.
I was a wrestler in Michigan, and I was a good wrestler. I was second in the state in Michigan, and so I had a wrestling scholarship to Duke and then later to UCLA. And while I was going to school there, I wasn't 21, but I was going to my classes, but I was reading all these books about gambling, right? And as soon as I turned 21, I just said, that's enough. I'd read so much, I knew what I wanted to do, and I came out to Vegas, and I tried to give it a go in the casinos, and I was a fantastic card counter in a vacuum. If you just put me in a vacuum, I was fine. But once they put me on the floor and I had to play for real,
right?
Man, my head started spinning. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Rob,
hello. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
So yes, I play poker. I play only tournaments. I play no limit hold'em tournaments. And I live here in Vegas. Been here for over 5.5 years, but going to Vegas all my life, growing up in Southern California. And did a lot of poker at Foxwoods because I lived in New York many years in between.
Foxwoods.
So that's great. It was great poker back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And it's great poker here. I played when I lived in Orange County. I used to go to the Commerce Casino
Commerce, yeah.
and ran very well there. Hit 2 final tables in their WPT series.
Okay.
So-
Now, you say you do tournaments. Do you get invited, or do you enter them?
Tournaments are not invited. Well, unless you're doing something, let's say on TV, like one of those special, after dark shows or whatever. But I think you buy in anyway for those. But no, I enter into tournaments, and I enter into tournaments that are anywhere from $140 up to a few $1,000s. I think the biggest one was $10,000 buy-ins, a main event.
Okay. Yeah, because when when I was I used to come here when they had the turn of the was it July the big what do you call it?
WSOP at the Rio.
Yeah, at the Rio. So but I used to go to the Rio a lot. So since I used to go there and play craps, I used to play craps, 3-card poker, and some blackjack. I racked up so many points. I got invited to because they have other events. So I got invited to their poker tournaments.
Really?
So I didn't pay anything. So my entries were free.
Wow.
That's why I was asking you, because I was in 5 tournaments and I was in the money in 3 of them, and I beat out some. These guys were playing probably since they were 2 years old. Guys from Illinois, Texas. I remember some of them talking. They were from Florida, California. But I was on one of the tournaments I got invited to. I think it was 9 people per table, and there was about 40 tables. But that was session 1. There was 3 sessions, so you can times that by 3 sessions, 40 tables, 9 people. And that tournament, I remember, I beat out a gentleman, and he was a pro.
Do you
But-
remember his name?
No, I just wanted to get rid of him so I could win.
Okay, when you play, when you stay at a hotel and you play craps and you play live games, not poker tournaments, but live games, you do get points, and I guess some of the benefits are getting into tournaments. I live here. I play a lot of poker. I only play tournaments. You get no points for tournaments, so there's no perks.
Well, yeah, I think it was 800. I think it was 875. I came in 16th place, and then there was 2,000. I think it was 2,800. I came in 26th place, and
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, the other one, I can't remember. I know I was in the money in 3 of them. I was in 5, invited to 5 of them, and that was probably 5 consecutive years. So
I've won 6 WSOP tournaments, non-ring, non-bracelet tournaments, but I've won 6 of them. My closest finish in a bracelet or ring tournament was 4th. It was a tag team with a partner, and unfortunately he was the one at the end. And he was playing it like a cash game, and unfortunately there's nothing I could have done. I had a crowd of people around me saying, "You got to get him to tap out," and I couldn't do that. So we finished 4th, which is cool, but we could have both won.
Yeah. When I usually play, because I do play, I buy for buy-ins. Sometimes you can buy from 100 to 500. I usually play that. I don't like 2, 4, 3, 6 because I call it catch-up, because they have rules. You can't, if you have pocket aces, you can't go all in. You have to follow the rules after the first round, and then they got the flop. There's another one you can't. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, that's limit.
No, it's yes.
That's limit. I don't play that.
But it is Texas Hold. It is
Right. It's the same game, but the
Right.
betting style is different.
Right.
I only play no limit tournaments,
Yes.
so that doesn't. What you're saying doesn't factor into
Yeah.
what I do.
But then I also play. I buy. If I buy in for anywhere from 100 to 500, and you're on a table and you're playing cash game, and then you're actually playing like a tournament, but you're playing with your own money. So,
Right.
but a lot of these guys, A lot of these guys, they think they're Helmuth and Mattisau, and they're acting like them, and I'm going, geez, these guys, they try to act like it in the way they play like it. I said, these guys are trying to bully me or whatever, but I'm just playing my game.
I know them both. Helmuth is really a nice guy. Just by the way.
He didn't throw a chair at you?
No, I met him. I met him from a very prominent person, and we became friendly. And I think he's a great guy, and I think he's a great poker player. Mattisau, I used to like many years ago, but he's crazy, obviously.
Mike the Mouth.
And I've seen him. I was in a tournament that he hosted, and he bought in 16 times, and I played with him at the table. And if you play in 16 times, you throw enough darts on the wall, you're gonna hit this. You're gonna hit the dartboard, I guess.
Yeah.
So I have opinions. I played with most of the people.
Yeah.
My greatest moment in poker, my greatest one-handed poker, was beating out Jerry Yang in the main event several years ago. It was a year or two after he won the event.
Oh, okay.
And I introduced myself to him. I was sitting to his left, and I told him that by the end of the day, he's going to know who the Jewish Bulldog is. That's me. That was my nickname. Still is. And I sent him home crying. And I was chip leader the first day at the main event. And it was cool because I'm a good read.
Right.
And I hadn't played a hand for a good hour or so. I mean, I just was patient as hell. And he had been chipping up because he's bullying everybody. And I played my first hand. I got good cards. And he was to my right, so he goes first. And I make a big bet over him. And I tell him, I know what you got. I'm way ahead of you. Throw it away. He goes, will you show me? And I go, yeah. And I showed him. I think I had king, queen. And
you pulled a Jamie Dimon?
I did. Jamie Gold.
Yeah, Jamie Gold.
I knew exactly what he had. He was very grateful. I was the first time I roped him in. The next hand, same thing. I had pocket nines. The board was a raggy board, 2, 4, 6 or something like that. And he come out with a bet, and I came over the top, and I said, come on now. I have you beat. I'm way over that board. Go away. Now, the reason why I do that is I want to chip up. And I hate bad beats. Maybe some people like bad beats. I don't know what it really does, but I hate bad beats. But I was doing a Jamie Gold on him.
Yeah.
And he says, will you show me? This was the second hand in a row. And I said, yeah, I'm going to show you. And he laid down his miss, whatever he had. I showed him the overpair to the board, and he was very, very appreciative. That was 2 hands in a row. Then I just beat him. All of a sudden, I'm chipping up. Third hand, total bluff. I did the same thing on him. He laid down. I showed him my bluff. He just about died. 3 hands in a row. And by the way, these were 3 straight hands. And just heads up, him and I, we were entertaining the table. The 4th hand, I didn't know what he had, but he wound up he had ace jack, but I didn't know it at the time. I had pocket jacks. He comes out, raises, I re-raise, he re-raises, I re-raise, he calls. I know he doesn't have pocket aces. Board is ace jack 5. So I've got a set of jacks. He's got 2 pair, top 2 pair. He comes up and bets. I go over the top. He re-raises me. I re-raise him. And I said, I know what you got. I guarantee you don't have a set of aces. I've got literally the second nuts you could possibly have with that board. And he didn't believe me. He goes all in. I snap called him. He has top 2 pair. I have a set of jacks. The board runs out brick, and he pretty much goes home crying. He wouldn't give me his book. He gives his book to people he knocks out. And I really didn't want his book anyway. And he was an easy read. He was an easy tell. I was able to read his hands every time. The way he has his stuff on the table and the way he marks his stuff, I was reading him like a book.
This is Full Tilt Vegas. I have 2 special guests. I have my daughter, Aviana. Say hi.
Hi. Nice
And
to.
her best
Be here,
friend,
thank you.
Narissa.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, if you like my Go Live Vegas, if you like to sing this when you there I go mixed up. Full Tilt Vegas, you can go on my YouTube channel, see all my episodes. If you like it, subscribe. I like to have the subscription, so you can go ahead and do that. Other than that, I have horse racing, blackjack, Keno. I got slot machines, poker, Blackjack, Craps, and Roulette. This is my book. It's in the book Winning Ways. I was one of the top-selling books in 2018. I was number 7 on Amazon. I was really proud of that because I was there with all the biggies. Phil Hellmuth, the Magician, John Patrick. I was so happy that somebody like me that barely got started, my first book. But I've been doing this for 30 years, horse racing, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and everything. So you can go get my book. You can Kindle it. So you want to Kindle ebook it. So you can go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're going to get to the show. And this show is called Vegas Girls Night Out. And they might even tell you what happened last night. But anyway, we'll start with, let's start with Narissa.
Oh.
Oh, Narissa, tell her how much, well, thank you very much. You can, do you like Vegas? Do you come here often? What's the difference between Vegas and where you live?
Oh, good question. Love Vegas. I think I associate it with so many positive memories ever since we were in our 20s, and growing up, it was always a fantastic trip and so much fun, so many friendly people, and it still has those same positive vibes.
Yeah.
Really fun town. We come as often as we can, Vegas has almost everything.
Oh, it has everything.
Yeah. I live in San Diego County, so we have the beach. But Vegas has a lot of entertainment, great nightlife,
A lot of pubs.
fabulous restaurants.
Never closes.
Yeah.
A lot of pubs.
It's a great way to celebrate, too.
For sure.
Yeah, 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Avi, I call my daughter Avi. What do you think about Vegas compared to where you live, and do you come here often?
So not so much anymore. Married life, we got kids and everything, but now would be actually different because it's quite grown since we first started coming out, right? Before it was really adult land, right? It's getaway adults. Now, I mean, there's parks and it's all for family oriented almost. Like it's inclusive of families and children. I think back in the day, they just had Circus, where I have fond memories of being dumped off there by my dad. Yeah, so he'd be like, here's a roll of quarters, like go have yourself some fun. I'll be at that crap table right there. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, but anyway, I'm from Southern California. Also, I'm in border of Orange County and LA County. It's much different, right? So there, we have hours, closing time, last call. Vegas, it does not have that, right? You could take a nap. Like me, my flight was delayed yesterday. It's only an hour flight. So easy to get here. Flight was delayed, landed at 9. We dropped off our bags and we went out for dinner. I mean, you can't do that, right? Anywhere else.
Yeah.
And last night, where did you two go?
Well, I did find the restaurant Therapy on Yelp, and I just took a look and had great ratings, and we just last minute we booked it. There wasn't a lot of parking downtown, so I dropped Aviana off and met her inside, and it was very interesting when I came in. Definitely something different about Vegas coming in. All the women were just kind of in their underwear.
Oh, yeah.
And perfect start to our ladies' night out. Yeah,
So, but
really good food.
What was it, a rave?
No.
It's a restaurant lounge.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. We kind of had a cheese overload last night. I mean, we were both starving.
Comfort food.
Yeah, it was totally comfort food. So I found out from the server, I guess they were on maybe Travel Channel or something like that, because when she was recommending food to us, our eyes were bigger than our bellies. And we went in and we're like, we'll have this and that. So we ended up getting the grilled cheese, like it's a lobster crab sandwich. Holy moly. It was like 4 stacked bread. I mean, it was like a half a loaf, but it was smothered in cheese and deliciousness. And oh my gosh, we had that. We ordered the mac and cheese. And then what else? What did we get
Sounds like
first?
10 pounds
Well,
of
the
meat.
Oh my
drinks
gosh,
were
yeah.
fabulous.
And the drinks were really yummy.
Yeah.
We love the drinks. But good atmosphere. It was funny because I was like, I kind of want to look at these people, but I don't want to be like weird or creepy.
Get in
I
my
wanna look.
belly!
Yeah.
And that was on, you guys said 6th Street in Ogden?
It was like at the end of Fremont. I'm not familiar with the street, but it's like the very end, right? So if you just kept walking down that same street, it turns into Fremont. I think we crossed a street and then it was Fremont. But yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
And-
they had a
and-
DJ. It was
Yes.
A
Latin
DJ?
night, and yeah, the music just kind of kept getting turned up because we were there from like 9:30. But super fun for
It was
like
really
an
fun.
appetizer.
Work it,
place.
make it, do it. Makes us
So,
Stronger.
so you guys got there.
harder, better, faster, stronger.
You did all that, and you had drinks. And what time did that end?
Like the restaurant, or what time did we get home?
Get home.
So you want to run through the night?
You go. I was just along for the ride.
Right. One eye open.
Yeah. So it's been a while. We've been away from the kids, so it was like, oh, what do we do with ourselves? So we had our late dinner, and then we walked Fremont. It was really fun, right? You have the street performers, and we didn't realize that'll be funny about the circles. So they had street performers. They had a bar on the outside, so we went. We grabbed drinks.
D-bar.
Yeah, there you go, D-bar. Nice.
Imagination.
So Narissa got herself a jug of beer.
It was like the hard seltzers. I just thought it would be a normal hard seltzer size.
Yeah.
And then he just hands me this like 32 ounce
It was quite
cup.
big.
That doesn't happen.
It's a good
where
thing
I
you
live.
guys ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I followed up requesting for a kitty cup because I saw that and I was like, yeah, I don't think so. So I got a smaller size with a shot of. I'm not too big on the seltzers. I think they lack a little flavor for me, but I did have an added absolute vanilla shot in there, so that definitely spiced it up. Got our night started. But anyway, so we headed down Fremont Street, and Narissa knows I love to gamble. Obviously, it must run in the blood. So she did say, like, hey, do you want to check out some tables and stuff? So I was like, all right, let's keep walking. So we walked, we checked out some places. We ended up at Circa. My dad's been talking about Circa for a little while. So we went. We wanted to go see what it was all about, and we went in. We gambled. Narissa found air conditioning units.
When you're playing and you're counting, a true count would be a deck, probably a deck and a half. If you see a deck and a half, once you start card counting in the discard rack, that's more than likely that's a true count. If your count goes up really fast, and there's like, say, I don't know, 20, 30 cards, that's not a true count. So you can't do that. You got to wait until it gets about a deck and a half, and then that'll be a true count, a truer count of when you're counting. Because even if it's a 10 value cards or a lot of small cards, it'll be off. The count will be correct, but the ratio of cards coming out will be wrong, because there might be when the dealers shuffle all these cards, there might be a ton of face value cards or small cards in the beginning, and you be counting, and there might be the count's really high, but then all of a sudden when the count is high and the tens are out, all of a sudden there might be a whole deck of small cards coming out. Then you'll get back to the original count. Wherever you start at 25, you start at 25 at 6 decks. Start at 25 and get rich at 49. Then the count might, once it starts coming up a deck and a half, somewhere around there, now the shoe will even out. So you just remember that. I tell you everything what I'm telling you now in the book. So you can go over and look at that and memorize it. These tables that I devise, if you memorize them, it is so crazy the stuff that you will know in blackjack. Card recognition, single deck, double decks, ratios of 12, ratios of blackjack. It's crazy. Now on a ratio of 16, I have that paper in there. I have to see if I can remember. I think it's 6 deck shoe. I think it's no, single deck was 20 is on a 16 is 20 to 28 in the casino's favor, and then 2 decks is 60 to 40 in the casino's favor. That's 60 for them and only 40 for you that you will not bust. 6 decks, I think it's cheaper. It's 181. No, I think it's 181 and 160, and then 8 decks is 252 to 160. That is the ratio on 16. In other words, 252 cards you will bust on when you get 16, and there's only 160 can help you. So the ratio the bust ratio is really high. So that's why I don't like playing single, double decks and getting stiff hands like 16, 15. That's the worst stiff hands you can get. 12 is the best because there's only one card can bust you, and that's a 10 value card. But all these tables that I devised in here, they're in the book. You can go ahead and memorize those. If you get 12, which would be what is that? What is it? No, 15. I think it was 15, 7, and 8. I show you scenarios now what the ratio of that is. So yeah, you can go ahead and get that. I suggest you can Kindle it, have it on your phone because you'll have it everywhere you go. A lot of people seem to like the book, but I understand that hard copy, but I think you'll have it even you're in Vegas. Oh, I forgot that book. Well, there it is on your phone. Or you can download it. If you forget, you can download it when you're in Vegas, wherever you're at in the casino. It only costs like, I think it was $9.90. Okay, what I'm going to do here right now, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to run it's my trailer. It's a movie trailer that I shot. I actually shot it. I think it was two or three cameras. And Aaron here, I met Aaron. He's the one that I finally met someone that was reasonable and not giving a bunch of bull crap. I sat and I talked to him what was going on, and all these guys wanted millions of dollars, and I told him, hey, I'm not Steven Spielberg. It's a low budget trader. And so we talked about it. He said, don't worry about it. He says, I got all the equipment, I'll fix it. So anybody has wants to do a video, a trader, a music video, or any kind of video, commercial, you can get a hold of Aaron here. If I even put up that number, I can never remember that number. But yeah, it's here, Las Vegas, Go Live Studios. So you can look it up. It's in Las Vegas. He took a while for him to fix it because it was 2-3 cameras and it was screwed up. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to show this trailer right now. It's 360 Entertainment.
Which is the best game for people to actually win a few dollars? Of all the games that are out there, what is the best chance for people to win something?
The big wheel. Nah, I'm kidding.
I like that game.
By the way, if you ever play that giant wheel, it says $1, $5.
That's the one I like.
$10, $20. Let me. You really, that's for fun. But if you're ever going to play that, I sat there one time with $2, and I played for about 7 minutes. what you do, because you need to look at the ratios. All the ones, then you have some 2s and 5s, 10s, and there's only 2 20s. What you do is you say you take, well, there's more 5s than there is 10s. So you put $1 on the 1, and then you hedge bet against that, and you maybe bet a 5 or a 10, and a lot of times you'll get the dollar back, and you might hit a 5-10. You know what you do after that? You quit, and you're ahead.
Question is actually very much a follow-up to that. Aaron asked you, what is the best, basically the best, what's the best entryway to making money? My question would be, what's the best entryway in terms of dabbling in the world of gambling for the first time? If you have a complete novice, it doesn't matter if they're in Vegas or out of Indiana, right? If they come up to you and they ask, Richard, what should I do if I want to get in on the action, if I want to have some fun in the gambling circuit, what game are you recommending to them?
I say if you're going to play any game with you have no knowledge until you get that knowledge, if you know how to play poker, play video poker and max bet. That's what you say for fun. If you don't understand poker, that's the only video game I play is video poker. And the other thing about that is when you see that machine up there that says 97 payback, 98 payback, that's the life of the machine, not while you're sitting there.
Good point. Good point.
I have a silly question that came into the chat room. How much math does someone actually need to know to be successful? Seriously.
It's a good question.
No, because, there's a lot of levels in counting and everything else. You got to have some knowledge of statistics, I would think.
Right.
And, so talk about that.
Well, okay, that's the thing in blackjack. You should learn basic strategy first. Once you master that, you learn card counting. Once you learn card counting, you'll know the highs and lows of the cards. Now, I'm glad he brought that up because I'm going to do that right now, and I hope I get it right. I'm going to go ahead and pull out a deck of cards, and it is math. There's a percentage I show you in the book what number to start at and what number it ends at, what number gets rich at for 49. I got to put this down.
Yeah, you want me to hold it for you? Get a little play-by-play?
Okay. You can see it's in the book, Winning Ways. Okay, what I'm going to do is go ahead, cut the deck. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread them out. This is really hard because it's not a felt.
Right.
I didn't think they'd spread out.
Yeah, little traction there.
Aaron,
Right.
go ahead and take, I don't care, 5 cards, 8 cards, 10 cards. I don't care. Let me hold that for now.
You got it.
Brett, take 5 cards, 8 cards. I don't care. Don't show them to me. Got them? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold that. What I'm going to do, since this is a single deck, the count starts at 45 and get rich at 49. I'm going to count these, and I'm going to tell you after how many 10s they each have.
All right.
Can we play Go Fish in the meantime?
Spades.
I see it, my thing.
Oh, he's ready.
So I don't know if you all can see this with the stuff in front of us, but literally he's just turning the cards over to see what is on the card. My fingers are too big to do it the way he's doing it so fast.
Okay, I think I got this right. You guys should, between both of you, you should have 4 10 value cards.
4 10 values, so you
4
mean the
10
actual 10 cards?
10
or?
cards, 10, king, jack, queen. They're 10 value cards. Let me see if I got this right. I wish I had a felt. How many you got? 2?
Let's see. I thought I counted right. It looks like it's 4.
You got the 4?
It looks like it's 4. Yep.
And you don't have any. Can
I
you
haven't-
show the
yep,
camera?
yep.
Show the camera.
I have a 9, 8, 3, and an
That
ace.
took more cards.
I thought I did too, but
There it is. I counted a deck of cards. There's 4 10s. He's got them. I knew that. It's not a trick.
Whoops.
I guess a magician could use it as a magic trick.
Yeah, really. Now opening up on the strip.
I can see the billboard now.
Well, that's learning to count one deck.
Right.
You can count 2 decks, 6 decks, 8 decks. This count here would start at 45. 2 decks would be 41, get rich at 49. 6 decks start at 25, get rich at 49. And then 8 decks starts at 27 and get rich at 59. You'll learn how to card count. It's not that hard. As long as you can go 1, 2, -1, you can get it in my book. I teach you how to do this three-way offset counting, and you should be able to count a deck in 25 seconds. I do it in 23.
And I want to ask you this, Richard, and this is your personal opinion. Do you think the stigma that has long surrounded counting cards, do you think that in any way, shape, or form is going to kind of keep people at bay? Or do you think that's starting to change a little bit, especially with how more and more people are coming to Vegas and more people are stepping up to the table?
Card counting is not illegal. It's for a lot of casinos frown upon it.
Right.
They've already shown, especially in Atlantic City, they made more money on card counters, on card wannabes, than they have actual real professionals.
Wow.
Because they go and they see like this right here, they're going to go around and buy a book, and they're going to practice. You know what the problem is? They're going to practice for like a week, and they said, I'm ready.
And then they'll drop it.
Then they'll lose. It's proven statistically. I had on my episode 14 with Anthony Curtis. He came on my show. If you can go see that on Go Live Vegas or Del Toy 360 Entertainment, episode 14, you see me and Anthony Curtis talk about that.
Let's talk about counting. I'm just impressed he remembers what episode has what topic on it. I can't remember what I did this morning on any of our shows.
Especially with the day you've had.
Oh, my goodness. So it's impressive that you remember what shows you talk about what. But, don't forget to share, by the way, as I've done. I've reshared it to my post. What are you doing? Oh, there's a question in the chat room. I'm sorry.
We have the chat room.
My phone's over there.
Well, okay, so the question question that came in, what does he mean start at 45 and get rich at 49? What does that mean?
Okay, on a single deck, that is the number you start at for a single. You start at 25. I did this on this episode hasn't aired yet. That one is episode 20. I think it might be 25.
That's why he's good at it. That right there.
Okay.
That's how he's a whiz.
I'm lucky I know what time it is right about now.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let me get this out.
All right.
Okay. In a single deck, they call them small cards or face value cards. For every face value card, there are 110. So the ratio is 2 to 1. It's 2.25% by the time you count one deck. Okay, so when you're done counting at 25 and get rich at 49, there should be 4 small cards left. So once you get rid of those 4 small cards, after 49, anything past it, especially if it gets to 56, something around there, the deck becomes rich in tens. And that's why people start betting more. But be careful about that, because once you start the swings, $5, and they're going, oh God, the count's high. $50, $200, they're going to know you're a card counter. I talk about in the book how not to do that.